Hey guys, happy Friday. Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in to the Daily Trend, where we utilize technical analysis to learn and gain insight into the market to become successful and profitable traders. This is Eddie, and today's date is November 16th. And if you are enjoying these videos, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, or leave a comment, and I'll be sure to get back to you.
Crush a bit, little bit, roll it up, take a hit, feeling lit, feeling right, 2 a.m. summer night, I don't care.
Okay guys, just wanted to check back in on the sector and see what's been happening with Canadian MJ and see what we can expect for the coming week. So before we get into that, we'll talk about some quick just sector updates and some headlines that I managed to stumble upon today. So as far as Canopy is concerned, they'll be looking to allocate $1 billion towards new acquisitions. So I'll be interested to see who and what they'll be looking at to acquire, and we'll obviously see if that benefits Canopy in a good way, and hopefully leads to some more bull momentum. And really the same thing with ACB as far as if they will benefit in terms of today they mentioned that their spin-off company Australia's Capital will be looking to put more capital into the US market, and we'll be looking forward to seeing updates on that. And that pretty much sums it up for the day. I wasn't really following the news that much, and like I always mentioned to you guys, I typically trade on the charts, but any headlines for you guys that might make sense for any long-term investors, I figure to include them in here for you guys. Hopefully it'll help. So let's just get into the technicals and see what's been going on. So as far as our daily higher low is concerned, we did set that, and that is confirmed now at 42.50. I mentioned in our previous video we had a daily inside bar form and a break either way of the high set here at 49.11, and we'll have more bull momentum. And same thing to the downside, we'll have bearish momentum, and then the bears will take full control. But we didn't get that quite to play out today. And essentially what we had is another daily inside bar form. So as far as daily trends are concerned, we are getting in, obviously a daily tightening range here with just these last 3 days. So in terms of what we can expect on the daily, we'll still want to see a break of 48.78 with this inside bar to indicate some more bull momentum, and a break of 43.85 will give us further downside, and will get us really close to that 42.50. And if we do break 42.50 support, bears will have complete control, and I don't want this to look, it's kind of looking right now kind of like a daily bear flag. So hopefully that's not the case for the stock, and we will get some more bull momentum with this new low set at 42.50. And as far as hourly trends are concerned, let's take a look at the hourly here and see what's been going on. So as far as hourly trends are concerned, like I said, we'll want to hold that low of 42.50. We set a high here at 48.78, and now we've set a new higher low at 45.45. So we'll essentially want to hold this low of 45. The bulls will want to hold the low here at 45.45 to maintain this bullish momentum. And what we'll want to see, bulls definitely will want to see a break of 46.60, which is the high set here at basically at the end of the day, and a break of that first thing on Monday will show us some more bull strength and get us toward our next resistance here at 48.78. And if we can break our high here set at 48.78, that will give us our hourly higher low and higher high, which will indicate an hourly trend reversal. And then we'll want to see that same thing play out on the daily. And essentially what we'll want to see on the daily is that if we do get this break, we'll want to break $50 psychologically, and anything above $50 and less of 61.25 will give us our daily lower high. And that's what we'll essentially want to look out for, coming for weed here. So like I said, as far as support is concerned, we have support at 42.50. Next level of support will be at 43.85, and then support at 45.45. Break of 46.60 first thing Monday will indicate some more bull strength. We are kind of riding this 20 period moving average, so we'll want to definitely smash through that first thing come Monday. And if we do break it and we do have a ton of volume, we'll look to set our next resistance at 48.78, and if we smash through that, that will be a great sign for the bulls. And like I said, it'll indicate that hourly lower high and higher high break, and then that will give us some more momentum on the daily to look for that daily lower high to be set somewhere in between this range of 61.25 and $50 psychologically. So let's look at ACB. So as far as ACB is concerned, similar story here with ACB in comparison to weed. We did also have a daily inside bar form as well. So essentially a break of 893 for come next week, and we will have our more bull momentum. And similar to weed, we did also form our higher low, which is now confirmed by just the day that we had today. And like I said, a break of 893 will get more bullish momentum, and a break of 792, and we'll get closer to the downside. And we'll want to definitely hold this low at 793 to maintain our continuation of this trend. And if we do break this, 725 will definitely be a key support level to hold. If we do break 725 sometime next week, it'll basically destroy this entire daily chart, and we'll be setting a lower low, and bears will definitely have full control. As far as hourly ranges to look for, so similar story. We set our low on the 15th at 792, set our high at 893, found our higher low at 857. And essentially this will be another key support level to hold first thing Monday. If we hold 857 with some more bullish momentum and a break of the high set here at 850, that'll continue our bullish momentum towards the upside to get us a break of that 893 resistance. And if we do get the break there, again, we'll have that hourly lower high, our hourly higher low, and higher high break. And that will indicate a trend reversal on the hourly. And as you can see here, we've had just brutal lower high and lower lows being set. So if we do get this hourly higher low and higher high break, that will be a good sign for the bulls, and that will indicate more upside. And that will most likely give us our, if you can see even here on the 4 hour, that will give us our daily, our 4 hour, which will essentially be our daily higher low and higher high break of 924. And obviously we still got a ton of room here between 924 and 1078 before we get to that high set on the 7th. So we'll most likely set like weed a daily lower high before we get close to this 1065 range, unless we of course have any major news or any catalyst coming up. So like I mentioned, bulls will need to hold support of 792 to maintain our higher low set on the 15th, and bulls will want to break resistance at 893 sometime next week to set our hourly higher low and higher high, which will lead to us setting our daily higher low in comparison to the 1059 I had mentioned. And that's what we'll want to look out for in the future. As far as, I guess, short-term levels are concerned, we have resistance at 893. I'm seeing also resistance at 923 as our next resistance. And then as far as support is concerned, we have support at 827, which, like I mentioned, must hold level for now, and 792 as our next level to watch out for. So now let's look at Aphria. So as far as Aphria is concerned, this is one of the more weaker names. I'll get rid of some of these trend lines here for you guys, so you can get a clean. Sorry, this is when I'm usually trading in the day. I usually have a bunch of lines. Okay, so as I mentioned in our previous video, we did set a new low on the 14th at 1236. And you know, Aphria, in comparison to some of the other names, it is showing a lot of weakness in comparison to the others, and we really had basically an overall bearish day. And you can even see, as far as percentage loss, we had almost 6.5% loss today. So definitely a lot more than what we saw on weed and ACB. ACB actually quite had a bearish day, almost 5% down as well at 4%, and weed kind of held up a little bit. Maintaining that kind of, you know, even keel range. So similar again to weed and ACB, we have a daily inside bar forming, that's been formed, and essentially we'll be looking for the same things. We are being held up by the 200 period moving average as resistance, so that will also be a key level that we'll want to break first thing come next week. And similar to the other names, a break of 1375 will give us some more bullish momentum and keep our trend intact. A break of the low at 1241 will give us more bearish momentum towards the downside. And the fact that we closed at the low of the day today at 1269 is not a good sign for the bulls. So we'll most likely need to 100% hold this 1226 level, and if we don't hold the 1226 level, this entire chart as well will be destroyed, and essentially we'll be looking to set a new low, and bears will have again more short-term control for now. So let's look at it at the hourly and see what we can expect here. So similar to the other names and that we saw as far as ACB and weed are concerned, if you look at weed here, weed held the low here on the 16th at 10:30 at 45.45. ACB did as well at 8:27, same exact time, 10:30. And this is what I say, they correlate so much, guys. It's ridiculous with some of these names sometimes. So depending on what you want to play, just, you know, figure out your share size and, you know, what type of risk you'd want, and, you know, you can play the smaller names. You may not get as much percentage gains, but typically these do correlate pretty well. But as far as Aphria is concerned, Aphria set that low as well, but it continued to break down lower, and now we have another low set at 1256, which will be a key level to hold if bulls want to continue this trend and look for that higher high break. The more likely scenario for Aphria will be to set an hourly lower high in comparison to 1375, as it has a lot more to run for that hourly bull break to get that hourly higher low and higher high break. And if we do break 1256 first thing next week, we'll have support at 1226, and if we break that hourly trend, will be continuing with the bears. You can see here we're well below the 20 period moving average. So if we do not break this you know, hourly bearish trend here, we'll be looking towards further downside, and it will not be a good look for the Aphria bulls. Of course, any news or catalyst can change this with extreme volume, particularly in this name. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, but we'll definitely need to set an hourly higher low in comparison to the low set on the 14th at 1226. And if we don't, again, bears will have full control for the short term, and we'll be looking to see what will happen next with Aphria. As far as short-term resistance is concerned, we have resistance at 1298, and 1375 as the next clear resistance point. Again, mentioned 1256 and 1226 as the must hold support levels to maintain. So we'll want to hold those first thing come Monday and get our reversal going and look for that for that hourly lower high to be set, and potentially another higher low and higher high break, which could play out for the better part of next week. So we'll have to see what happens with Aphria going into next week. So now looking at some just additional names here, we'll look at Canntrust Holdings, ticker symbol TRST. So as far as TRST is concerned, it had a little bit of a tougher day in comparison to some of the names that I have here on my list. We had almost a 12% drop on the day. And again, similar to the other names, we had that daily inside bar form. We also had our oversold bounce play out temporarily when we set our new low at $7 on the 14th. And similar to Aphria a little bit, when we set that dump low on October 30th, we had our mini rally to set our new high at 1047, and then we broke down further to set another lower low in comparison to 810, which really isn't a good sign for the bulls in comparison to some of the other names here. So this has a lot more to go as far as daily trend is concerned before we start seeing some more upside. But obviously with this huge green Marabuzu candle here showing with a lot of bull volume, basically almost 6 million in volume bought on the 15th, gives you hope for TRST to reverse this and potentially look for some more bull momentum to ensue. So the more likely scenario for TRST is we'll want to look actually for our daily lower high to be set in comparison to 1047, and then to set an hourly higher low in comparison to $7 with a higher high break to start getting our daily trend going in the favor of the bulls. And like I mentioned, since we have a daily inside bar forming, a break of 946, and we will be looking towards further upside, and a break of 752, and we'll head further down to the downside. So definitely some key levels to hold. And if we do actually continue to break down further, this will be our new daily lower high set here at 946. And then, like I said, we'll be looking for that hourly higher low to be set in comparison to $7. So as far as hourly trends are concerned, we found our low at $7. We pulled back a little bit, set our new low at 712, and then once we set our new low at 712, we had some increased bull volume, and we had a nice little run up here, almost created what looked like to be a bull flag, but then we had some further breakdowns and set some new lower lows, which obviously wasn't good for the bulls, but stocks just can't run up all day. So once we found our high set at 946, we continued to break down and consolidate it a little bit, and now again, similar to the daily trend, we'll be looking for that hourly higher low and higher high break to reverse this hourly pattern here. And we'll want to hold the low of today at 816 and 810 being the next level. We do have a ton of room to set that hourly higher low in comparison to $7, so that's a good sign for the bulls. But if we really want to continue this trend going towards the upside, I would love to see 816 hold and then continue our upside. We are riding that 20 period moving averages, which is acting as resistance for now. But a break of 868 first thing Monday will be a good sign for the bulls and will give us some more bullish momentum towards the upside, and potentially either look for an hourly lower high to be set in higher low, or a higher high break of 942, which would be a much better scenario for the bulls. So as far as recap is concerned for TRST, like I mentioned, we'll be looking for that daily higher low to form in comparison to the low set on the 14th of $7. A break of 946, and we'll get our bullish momentum and potentially set our daily higher low. And then a break of 752, which will be 1 second here. And a break of 752, which is our inside bar, and the bears will take short-term control, and bulls again will be looking to set that higher low. So like I mentioned on the hourly, we're looking for an hourly higher low and higher high break to indicate some more bull strength. And if we do get that, we'll most likely need to set a daily lower high on the daily if we do get that higher high break before we get some further upside. And last name, looking at TGOD, and again, TGOD, very similar to the other names, we had a daily inside bar form, and I'm not joking with you guys when I say a lot of these names correlate. Like, this is 5 names now that we've all seen daily inside bars form, which for me personally, I love to see inside bars form, whether it be on the daily, the hourly, because they indicate, the direction, whether it's going to be to the upside or the downside. And that is just an easier way to trade when you're looking at these. So back to TGOD, like I mentioned, with the daily inside bar form, if bulls want to continue this trend and look for that daily lower high to be set, we'll want to break 371 first thing next week, and a break of that, and we'll continue our bullish momentum. We are being held up by the 20-period moving average, which acting as resistance. We do have our higher low confirmed at 298 in comparison to the low set of the dump at 245, which is a good sign. So we do still got a bit of room to run up before we hit $5, let's say psychologically. So the more likely scenario for TGOD, like the other names, is to set a daily lower high and higher low, higher high break to reverse this daily trend and continue back towards the upside. And looking at it from the hourly, like I mentioned, after we found our low at 298, we set a new high on the hourly at 371. So a break of that resistance, and we will have some more bullish continuation and look for our higher high to be set. And a break of 315, which will be 1 second here. A break of 335, which is our low set today, and we will continue to head towards the downside. Which is still okay, and like I said, we'll still want to set that hourly higher low. So again, we still got a ton of room before we get to our extreme lows here. But if we do have an hourly higher low set somewhere around here, it won't be a bad look for TGOD. Again, we'll still want to look for that higher high break to indicate a trend reversal on the hourly. We do have some declining bear volume, which is good to see. And really, ideally, bulls will want to hold the low set on the 14th of 298 to maintain that momentum, and that will be good sign for TGOD. So, like I mentioned, to recap, just really quickly, so bulls will definitely want to see a break of that hourly high of 371 to get our hourly higher low and higher high reversal, which will give us our daily lower high, which we talked about. And this most likely will be the scenario that will play out, since we do have another, let's say, 25% to the upside to our high set on the 6th. So as far as short-term support and resistance level is concerned, we'll want to hold the low set today at 335 as our next support level. 298 is a must-hold key level to maintain our trend. So we'll want to set a higher low in comparison to that. And then as far as resistance is concerned, we have resistance at 351, 371, and then $4 psychologically as the next levels of support and resistance. So really, just for all the names, the sooner really the bulls form the higher low on the daily, the hourly higher low on the daily, and also the lower high, the better the odds of us continuing that bullish continuation. But if we do continue to drop on most of these names to their October, November lows, the market will still clearly favor the bulls. So like I said, we'll want to see those hourly breaks on most of these names first thing next week to indicate our short-term trend. And we'll be looking for that to play out next week. So again, thank you so much for sticking around, and hopefully you enjoyed the video. And again, if you did, please give us a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, and hopefully we hope to see you in the next one. Excuse me, I'm a little off today. Thanks again. Take care. Bye now.